Good morning, dear students. Yesterday we have discussed about some basics of 2D list. Today we will discuss that how can we insert a 2D list manually according to user input. Okay, so let's revise some point again. If you want to represent 2D list in Python, then we will write in that way. This is the syntax of inserting 2D list in Python. Now, this what this list is representing, the number of element in that list is representing the rows. Okay, so how many rows are there in that list? It is calculated by number of element in a list. So there are 1 2 3 element. It means there are total 3 rows, and number of sub element in a single element is representing the number of column. Now what does it mean? Single element, this is a single element, 2 3 5 is a single element, 5 4 1 is a single element, 4 3 9 is a single element. So number of sub element in that element. So how many element in that 2 3 5? There are 3 element in a single element, and there are 4 4 5 4 1, again there are 3 elements. So number of sub element in a single element is representing the number of column. So it means there are total 3 columns. Okay, so how can we access these element? So every element have its own index. Now if you want to access 2, then what is the index of 2 is 0 0. If you want to access 3, what will be its index? 0 1. If you want to access 5, what will be its index? 0 and 2. If you want to access that 3, what would be its index? 2 and 1. If you want to access that 1, what would be its index? 1 and 2. Okay, so every element is accessed by its index. Or how, what would be the index? Row index and column index. Index of 1 is 1 2. Here 1 is a row index and 2 is a column index. So first we write the row index and then we write the column index. Okay, so this was the example that we have discussed in our previous class. uh, Here we will take two loop. First loop will control the rows and second loop will control the column. Okay, so length of m will calculate the total number of element in a list, and total number of element is representing the rows. And here we are calculating the length of mi is a each element. Okay, so here there are two element and both two element having a same same element. Okay, so here if we calculate the length of m0 or m1, it is same in both cases, that is 3. Okay, so uh, first for loop, the outer loop is controlling the rows, and the second loop, that is the inner loop, is controlling the columns. Okay, so in that example we are having a two column, sorry, we are having two rows and three columns. Okay, so here there are two rows. Okay, so initially if there are two rows, it run for two values, that is 0 and 1, and if there are three columns, then it will run for 0 1 and 2. Okay, we are printing m, I and j. So for I1 value, j will run 3 times. Okay, this is the concept of nested for. So here if I value is 0, so j will run for 3 times, and what will be the value of j? 0 1 and 2. So for I zero's value, it will print 0 0 0 1 and 0 2. Okay, when after printing 0 and 2, j will complete its iteration and the control will go to the outer loop, and now I value is 1. Okay, then again j loop will run 3 times and the value is 0 1 and 2. So now it will print 1 0 1 1 and 1 2, and this is how the program will work. Okay, if we run that program, it will show us that value. Okay, now see student, this value is not coming in form of matrix. So how can we print it in form of matrix? We use the AND. Okay, and in between the AND we have given some space as well, and after writing this we will use the print statement. Okay, for that print statement we are using the new line operator as well. Okay, now if we run it again to see how it will print the value, yes, now it is looking like the matrix. Okay, so this is a way of printing it in form of matrix. Now student, what if you want to that user will input these value? Okay, so how can we do it? First of all, we will initialize all this value as 0, because I want all these value will be inserted by user. Okay, so what we will do, we will not use that line, so we will make it as comment. Okay, now what we will do, we will take a variable ele and then we will take that value from user. For that we will write the code as like this, and here we will write enter matrix. Okay, it would be like that. Now if user enter that value, we will store that value in ing, and ing will have that value. Okay, now if we run that program, it will print us a message enter matrix value, you can see. So here we will insert value 1, value 2, value 3, then again value 1, value 2 and value 3. Okay, sorry, here we are not printing the matrix, so we will print matrix m. Now again if we run that code, so here 1 value, 2 value, 3 value, 4 5 and 6 value. Okay, now here 2 matrix will be inserted according to user input. Okay student, so this is how we can insert a matrix manually. But there is a problem. What is the problem? That this program is pre-designed for only 2 by 3 matrix. It contain always 2 rows and 3 columns. Let us suppose if you want to insert 3 by 3 matrix, 2 by 2 matrix, 4 by 1 matrix, so it is not compatible with this, because it is predefined only for 2 by 3 matrix. It will take all as input for 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, so what if you want to take any kind of matrix? Then for this what we will do, we will add that code we are copying and pasting just to save time. Okay, so here we will asking user that how many rows and matrix column you want. Okay, now what we will do, we will not require this syntax because it can be any matrix. Okay, and here again we don't need length of m because we have number of row. We will directly write row here, and because we know that this column is controlling this row, for loop is controlling column, then we will directly write call here. Okay, so this is like that. Now students, what we will do here, okay, what we will do here, we are asking for enter matrix, and if we do the same, if we write the same and run that program, okay, so okay, so he is asking for rows. Let us suppose we are saying I want to insert 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, so we are inserting the element. It is showing that any error. Let's see the error, index out of range. Okay, so this is showing that error because now students, we cannot write that. If you want to insert any element in a matrix, then we have to write the code append. Okay, so ELE, okay, append. Yeah, spelling mistake, and hope I will correct it now. Again, if we run that code, okay, so it is running in a whole. So let's for some now 2 by 2 matrix and have 1 value, 2 value, 3 value and 4 value. Okay, so this is printing the value, but this value is not in a form of 2D list. It is a 1D list because each and every element is a single element. It is a integer. Okay, this is not a 2D list. It is a 1D list. So what can we do to make it a 2D list? We have to change something in a code. We will take another list G, and what we will do, we will, okay, so instead of doing this, okay, control X, and what we will do, we will write, we will do create a matrix, and now we will not we will attempt that value in G. Okay, after that appending that in G, okay, what we will do, we will m dot append G. Okay, right now just skip that step. We are just focusing on entering the value. Okay, it is run. There is no syntax error. Again we are putting 2 by 2 value matrix, and yes, here you see that it is printing a matrix in form of 2D. Okay, now why we use G as a list here? Because students, you know that in our previous example, first of all we are creating a blank matrix, like so J will, what J is doing here, J, when we insert R equals to 2 and the column equals to 2, so what G is doing, G is creating a matrix, doing a work like that. Okay, so what J is doing, J is creating a list. Okay, now what is doing, after that 3 and 4 is inserted in G. Okay, G is storing 3 and 4, and after that what we are doing, we are in appending this G into M. Okay, so this is how that program is working. G is storing that a single list, that is 3 and 4. Okay, G is stored here, and when this J loop will end, then again this G will get empty. Okay, because this is the empty. So first of all, what it is doing, that it is, because we know that row is 2 and column is 2, and we are inserting 3 and 4, then 3 and 4 will be inserted in G, and after that what will happen, this this 3 and 4 will appended in M. So M will be like 3 and 4. After doing that, iteration of J is completed. Now again it will go on I, and here I is here in I it will again blank the G. Now G is again blank. Okay, now what we do, what we are inserting two value on 1 and 4 in G, and now again we are appending it into M. So again how it appended, it will appended like 1 and 4. Okay, so it is working in that fashion. Okay, so not only for 2 and 2, here you can insert any form of metric. Let us suppose we are inserting a 3 by 3 matrix, let's say 3 by 3. So here you will insert the value 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, sorry, my mistake, I missed one value, so I will run it again. Okay, 3 by 3, so 1 value, 2 value, 3 value, 4 value, 5 value, 6 value, 7 value, 8 value, 9 value, and it will be, you will see that it will print the 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, so student, that's it for today. Thank you and have a great day.